There is a big disconnect between what the law says and people's legal rights and what actually happens. And the reason for that is that people can't get lawyers to represent their sides. So, for example, a child in state custody, they have the right to be cared for and nurtured and to not be harmed. This is a constitutional right, if they're in state custody, to not be harmed by the state while in care. So, and the actions need to be taken in their best interest. And it's clear that as a matter of the true evidence, giving these children drugs is not in their best interest. But there's no one to present the other side. And there's the parents of children in custody are threatened that if you don't go along with this, we will terminate your parental rights. That's one of the things that happens. Or you'll never be reunited with your child if you don't go along with that. So there's all that kind of coercion. The child or youth itself actually has that independent right, and suits could be brought. But the problem is that there aren't any resources to bring these sorts of cases. I took a couple of cases, well, one that was directly based on this principle that children have the right not to be harmed by this. And we lost at the Alaska Supreme Court because the Alaska Supreme Court said we didn't have standing to bring that case, which means the right to sue because we weren't actually being harmed. And I feel that they changed the rules on standing in Alaska in the middle of my case. But they were not, it was really disturbing to me because they were not really concerned about what was happening to the children. They were worried about, whether we had, standing. And they were unconcerned about the reasons why we didn't come in with a parent, which was because they would be subject to retaliation if they brought suit, and their children would be put at risk. And in Alaska, we have this prevailing party attorney's fees rule where the losing party has to pay the attorney's fees, partial attorney's fees on the other side. And the Attorney General's office in Alaska has a rule that they will always seek those attorney's fees no matter what. And so I actually had someone that I was trying to help get out of a student loan. He was on disability because of a psychiatric diagnosis, and we lost, and they went after him for attorney's fees. And I know someone else who wanted to challenge their lack of any grievance procedure. And when I told her that if we lose, that she'd be subject to attorney's fees, she decided not to pursue that. And so it's a very deliberate attempt or effort on the Attorney General's office in Alaska to chill, or in other words, try and dissuade people from bringing these types of suits, and I think that it's fairly successful.